Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 6, Episode 3, title Get Cape, Wear Cape, Fly. Air date September 15th, 2008, and the synopsis is:
Lucas returns from Las Vegas and learns of the tragic death of Quentin, as Nathan and Haley struggle to find a way to help Jamie understand the death of Quentin. Lucas, Skills, Nathan, Haley, and Payne go to visit Quentin's mom and give their sympathies. Jamie meets Quentin's brother, Andre. So throughout the episode, we hear Sam's essay about Quentin and saying who he was, and of course she'll never know him.
It was weird that she read the first part, like the intro, and then she read the same thing at the end. I'm like, I didn't need it twice. I feel like we could have done it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think, or at least half at the beginning and half at the end, maybe, just not the same exact repeated intro was
Right.
Also at the end. I was like, okay, we already know that.
Mm-hmm.
It could have said a little bit more about him, but like split it up, I feel like.
Right.
And also it was a little weird that she was doing it because she just came on the show. She don't even know him.
Yeah, well, that was Haley's assignment, so I think that's why they did that, and that was like her introduction more into the show as well. Yeah, so Skills goes to see Lucas that same night, asking if anybody called him, and asking if it's actually true. And Lucas sadly tells him it is, so they go inside his house.
So did the school or something call both Lucas and Skills? Because Lucas didn't call Skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, must have been.
Interesting.
And then the next morning at the report, because for some reason they didn't tell him, Nathan's there waiting for Q.
Yeah, but like you said, he's not really a coach.
Yeah, but they could have told him because they know that he was working with Q.
Yeah, so that means that Haley either found out from Lucas or Skills or from the school because she works there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so poor Nathan even called Q and left a voicemail.
Yeah, like, you're late.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he ain't showing up.
Yeah, so Haley at least.
And then Haley like pulls in like real fast and tells him.
Yeah. And then we see Brooke at the store, and she's not doing well mentally as we expected, but just doesn't care about the clothes anymore. So she starts throwing them off.
All the expensive. All the expensive clothes she's just throwing out.
Mm-hmm. And then at the Scotts, Haley doesn't know what to say to her students about Q or even Jamie. And he's still making him that cape. So Nathan says he'll do it, but Haley says they should do it together, which I think was a good idea. And then Skills and Lucas get to the gym to tell the Ravens about Q as well. And then meanwhile, Nathan and Haley go into Jamie's room to tell him. So they tell him that Q had an accident, and Jamie asked if he's going to be okay.
Well, that was the thing. Like, you use the word accident. So, of course, he's going, like anybody would. It's not even just that he's 5. It's anybody would. If you say someone had an accident, you're going to go, they're okay. And, they're going to live. Well, you didn't say that. It's like, of course, he's going to say, like, yeah, he's going to make it. Like, and then that's when Haley's like, no, he died. It's like, maybe you should have said that a minute ago.
Yeah.
Before his little brain was trying to figure this out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nathan did try to explain that, his body stopped working. But, Jamie just still couldn't process that.
But also, you can kind of see, like, Nathan's body didn't work for a while. And then now it So, like, in his little brain, he's like, well, you were like that, Dad. Well, now you're better.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see why he would think that.
Right. Yeah, so they tell Jamie it's okay to be sad, because they're sad, but Jamie just doesn't believe them and says that he's going to let the cape.
That was sad.
Mm-hmm. And then Peyton's walking towards Clothes Over Bros, where Brooke is still throwing the clothes outside.
Yeah, and she sees all the women out there trying to take all the clothes.
Yeah, so she runs over, taking the clothes from them and saying there's been a misunderstanding, but they fight back. And
See,
Peyton,
I would feel like like I wouldn't think that's real. If somebody's throwing the clothes out, I would think maybe there's like an altercation inside, like that's why the clothes would be. I wouldn't think like, let me take all these free clothes at all. I would not think that. I would be like, there must be something going on in there. Let me just walk on by. Instead these ladies are like, let me just take these free clothes, and it's like, what?
Yeah, because if anything, if I didn't know the store and that Brooke was the owner, I would think that she's someone stealing the clothes and just, or like trying to vandalize the place, you know?
Right. So yeah, there's something going on. So you just walk on past. You don't take the clothes. But you know how many people in this world would. So
yeah, so after playing tug of war with the girls, Payne finally gets at least some of them and goes back inside while the other girls fight over what's left over. So, you know, Payne asks Brooke if she's lost her mind, and Brooke says it's her store and her clothes, so she can do what she wants. And she keeps throwing them outside and says they're having a sale. For one day, everything is, you know, free. And then the girls are still outside grabbing everything, so Payne yells no at them. And then Payne thinks this is about Victoria. And Brooke says no, you know, she doesn't want to talk about it. There's nothing else to say. You know, her mom's a bitch, and she asks Payne if she's happy. You know, was I to talk? Was that enough? And Payne, you know, asks why she's yelling at her.
Yeah, see, like at this point, Brooke thinks it was her mom that set her up. When obviously that wasn't really the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like Brooke was pretty harsh, I feel like, because I mean, first of all, she's not even telling Peyton the truth of what happened to her. So then to lash out at Peyton and like, I want the key back. I need to feel safe. It's like, what? Like I just feel like it was pretty harsh. She's like, I want my key back. Like, I get you want your key back, but like how she was going about it was pretty rude, I feel like. I mean, it's because again, it's not like, you know, Peyton knows what happened to you. So if she knew, of course, she'd give the key back right away so that you feel safe. Also, don't you think that given how like Rachel had your key, Victoria had your key, Peyton, don't you think that, I don't know if you were attacked, that you would probably change the locks? I'm just saying, it's just so many people have come and go, like as Brooke points out, that like you would change the locks, period. So nobody has your key except you. Like, I was like, why are you blaming everybody when just change the locks and you don't have to deal with this? Because whoever has a key may have a spare and all this. Like, just get new locks. Like, then you'll feel much safer.
Right. And Brooke took it too far too, calling her house some kind of Rachel cracked in, but she was the one that let Rachel there in the first place.
She's the one that let everybody in. So again, that's what I mean, is she's the one that let these people in. So don't get mad when you want to lash out at somebody.
Yeah, so Payne now figures out that something else is going on, but of course Brooke doesn't want to talk about it. She just needs, you know, her key.
I will say though, I would think it would be a little strange if somebody said, I want to feel safe in my own house, because I feel like, have you not felt safe? Like, what's going on? And then obviously the fact that she looks like she's been attacked, I would be like, did you really fall down the stairs? Just because, what, are you afraid of the sheets? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it was the sheets, well, then that was in your own house. But if it was somebody else that attacked you, like, obviously you'd, you know, be fearful of your own house. So I thought that was weird. I'm like, what?
Right.
But Peyton clocks it a little, but not all the way.
Yeah, so Payne, you know, because Brooke's still acting snippy and acts, what does she want? Like, why is she there? And Payne says she just showed up to tell her that one of Lucas's basketball players was killed last night.
Well, and that's the thing. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like Brooke is so into her own thing, as she should be, because she did have something serious happen. But also, you know, other people are going through stuff too. But I will say, like, when she said it, she was like, oh crap. Like, Brooke definitely registered it.
Yeah, and then Payne does leave her key there. And then Haley walks into her classroom and telling her class she doesn't know what to say to them. She doesn't know what to say to her son, because they all love playing as, you know, as they did.
I thought that was a little weird.
I mean,
I didn't really think everybody loved Quentin as much as the adults loved Quentin.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we didn't really see him interact with them anyhow. But I guess when we didn't see them, they must have been, I don't know, somewhat close. Who knows?
Because it was kind of weird because, they talk about, oh, like he's so loved in the classroom, but then all of a sudden he's also so loved on the basketball court. And I'm like, he was a, like, I'm sorry, but when he was in the classroom and like at the beginning on the court, he was an old Nathan, like
Mm-hmm.
where people really didn't like him. They just
Yeah.
had to deal with him. And so I'm like, what? What do you mean like he's so loved? I'm like, I get the adults loved him, but I don't know if really the kids loved him. I will
Well,
say that.
he did change by the end with everybody, so he was on better terms with people.
But was he in the classroom? He was not even in the classroom.
Yeah, I know that's what they said. We didn't see him, so that is something that they should have included every once in a while. Like we don't see Haley teach in her class. It's just her and Quentin most of the time for this season at least.
But even when she brings up that quote that Q, remember he was reading the book, so she read a quote and the class was like, what? And it's like, so the kids aren't even reading the same book Q is reading.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is that even possible?
Because it was like a extra thing for him to make up credit, I believe, for his grade in the class.
I thought it was you read this book and you pass.
Yeah, I think it
Remember?
must have been extra credit or something.
Because I was like, he should be doing all the extra work. So that was my thing, was the kid isn't even in the class because he's reading a book on his own and not even going to class.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I always took it because that's how they always wrote it.
Right.
They never wrote it really that he was in class.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have the deep conversation of like, what's the point with everything after Quentin died?
Yeah, because that one kid's like, yeah, he's gone. It's like, what? Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Haley answers there is no point.
but I'm like, dang, like for that kid to just be like, he's gone. It's like, okay, like, okay. And also, he didn't just die of like an illness.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was murdered. Like, so, like that's different than just like knowing someone is probably going to go soon because they have an illness.
Well, I think it was like, what's the point if you could just die at any moment like that?
Well, the point is that you should feel something, the fact that somebody passed away and that they had a whole life to live.
Yeah, they did. They all had anger about that. They
Like
showed that.
that's what I'm saying is like, again, it's, he should have lived, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the one boy that was talking, like some idiot just shot him and now he's gone forever. So what's the point? Yeah. So yeah, they were just like, what's the point? Like he was doing so good and then he gets killed like that. So what's the point of being good at all? Maybe. And then back with Carrie and Dan, how long do you think it's been since she's had him hostage now?
Couple months.
Yeah, well, maybe not that long because Haley is starting to suspect stuff now, but yeah, I don't know. And then with his injuries too, you think that he wouldn't even last that long either, but and it was his heart as well. But yeah, so
Well, yeah, because didn't they like say he needed a heart like right now? That's why he was all of a sudden number 2 on the call sheet. But then, and then the number 1 died, so then he became number 1. Like, I feel like you wouldn't be that high if you didn't really need it like right now.
because at the start of this, he had 6 months to live, so maybe it's at least down to 4 months or something. But yeah, and then I don't know how this goes, but you would think that the hospital, like after not being able to contact him, you think that his doctor would at least, see what happened and why he didn't answer the pager or something.
Well, yeah, and too, like you would think that even though he didn't answer the call for his heart, like he would still be going to like monthly checkups. Like if he only has 6 months to live without getting this heart, I would think that he would have all these appointments each month to check on his heart to make sure he's okay. So that was the other thing, was no one's checking to make sure he's alive.
Yeah, so that's weird. But Carrie says she has a new plan. She's not going to.
Especially given how much time Dan spent at the hospital. Do you think the hospital will be like, where is he?
Yeah.
He practically lived here.
Yeah, so she won't have to take Jamie. He's going to come to her. And, because he wants to see his grandpa Dan one last time. And then he says, why? Because in a few months he'll be dead. And then they find Jamie. And when they can't find Jamie, they'll start looking for her.
Yeah, and she's like, by then we'll be long gone. It's like, oh, of course you will.
Yeah, she says she'll have a 6-month head start with her son.
Okay, but 6 months, like, again, he has less than 6 months now. So she wouldn't have a 6-month
right
lead.
Yeah, she's just like 4 months or something. But yeah, Dan tries to get her to not try this because he's like, Jamie's afraid of me because I'm a murderer.
Yeah, and then she goes, well, I found the card he wrote you. He must, he does love you. It's like, crap.
Yeah.
I think even Dan was like, crap. Because, like, he was hoping that'd work. I will say, I did love how he was still, even in this episode, he's still, like, trying to get under her nerves. It's entertaining.
Yeah, so he keeps, like, trying to find flaws in her plan, like, what's Jamie gonna do? Drive himself? Like, what she could do with the person that brings him? And then that's when she says she hopes it's Haley, but she's not gonna do anything. But him, however, is going to kill that person. At least that's what it's going to look like, because he's a murderer.
But you have to think too, like, if you were Haley, it would be weird the fact that he's been out of prison for how long, and he hasn't, like, snatched him. You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden you're gonna act like he snatched him. It's like, if he wanted to do it, wouldn't he have done it already? Especially given how Nathan said, or how he said to Nathan that he only had 6 months to live. Like, it would be like, why would he kidnap him for 4 months? Like, I would just, as Nathan and Haley, I would just have questions of, like, okay, he only has a certain amount of time to live. Why would he take our kid now instead of, I don't know, right when he heard the news that he had 6 months to live? Like, it's weird. And again, Dan has not done anything like that to prove that he should, or that he would be a suspect. And that was my other thing, was like, really? The person who actually snatched him was you, Carrie. So I would go to the last person that snatched him. And the fact that it's not like the police found her and arrested her, she's still out there. So she still has revenge. So that's how I would look at it, as Dan has really done nothing. But she has. And actually, Dan had saved our son. So I would look at the last person that snatched him. Because she's still out there.
Yeah, because even if Dan took him, like, what's he going to do? Like, keep him until he gets really sick, or, take him back, or just keep him there until he dies? Like,
Right. Yeah, that's,
I mean, have to deal with that trauma.
Yeah, that's why, like, Nathan and Haley, they'd be like, that's odd. Like, he's dying. So, like, why would he take him? It's odd.
Yeah.
That's why her plan sucks.
And then back at the school, Skills tells Lucas he was going to tell Q that he was proud of him. That night when he came back to office, he said, I will talk to Q tomorrow. And he was going to tell him how far he has come and how proud of him he was of that.
That was sad.
Yeah, you're supposed to get tomorrow. He's only 17, so maybe about a senior, maybe, or junior. We still don't know exactly.
Well, yeah. I just thought this whole thing was sad because, like, Skills had, like, the tough love when it came to Q. And remember, he always had his best interests, but, like, remember when he would, like, tell Lucas, his injury of his hand, and then Q would get mad at, like, Skills, and so it's like, he was always loyal to Q, but, like, as a coach, you have to, if somebody's injured, you have to speak up. You can't just hide it like Q wanted him to, and so they always kind of had that little, tit for tat kind of thing, and I think, it was hard for Skills because of that. Because it's like, you hope that Q knew how much you meant to him and that he was a great player and stuff. But if you never said it, does he really know? And so that was hard because, like, Nathan, he knew Nathan, they were good. I think Lucas and Q were good because Lucas did protect him at that one game. So it's kind of like the person that may have had the falling out. Not really, but like, if you picked anyone, it would probably be Skills and Q.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was hard to like know for Skills, like he didn't get to say that to him.
Right. Yeah, so they just talk about how his life hasn't started yet, and Lucas feels like he let him down. And, he asks him to be a good example and teammate, and then he goes and gets suspended himself, being a bad coach. And, he wasn't being bad, but, like, he was defending him, but, like, he just kind of set the wrong example, like, just fight whenever someone's doing that. But, yeah, and, yeah, because Skills points it out, too, and Lucas says, he was just the one feeling him. And then brings up the fact that he has a little brother and he's got parents, and Skills says the whole thing of how does a mother ever breathe again. So yeah. And then Jamie is looking at a game plan on the board in the locker room, and Nathan goes through Q's locker and finds his copy of Les Mis. And Jamie asks if he can have Q's jersey, and Nathan says that he thinks Q would like that. Mm-hmm.
Like we said last episode or whatever it was, no, Q would like his little brother to have that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And the next scene, Carrie is loading a handgun right in front of Dan. She tells him she likes his beach house. That's where she got the gun from, and exactly where she found it, she says, under the magazines. And she mentions the exact magazine that he had, saying that the bras are sexy, and starts unbuttoning her shirt and shows hers to Dan. And then when he asks her, like, why doesn't she have kids, trying to get back to the question of why she's doing this, because she's young and attractive and crazy, but she could have a little boy of her own. And then grossly says he might even be able to help her out. And Carrie points out, the guy that points the guy, or the gun at, she points the gun at him and says she's going to enjoy killing him. And she does to get it ready to shoot. Then we segue to Brooke shooting Deb's gun multiple times.
Yeah, of course, Carrie's going to enjoy it.
Right. Or is that Brooke's gun? I don't know. We didn't see her get anything, but Lucas, Payne, Skills, Nathan, Haley, and Jamie get to Q's family's house, where they meet his little brother, who's on a swing in the yard. And Haley tells Jamie to go play. So Jamie joins Andre on the swings, and Andre says that his parents gave him a present. It's a handheld game, and he's playing basketball. And they tell each other their names. And he says that Quentin was his brother, and Jamie says that Quentin was his friend. He's making him a cute. And so it seems like that they added a brother in at the last minute to give Q like more of a background. Like that's why he was getting along with Jamie so well.
Yeah, like a storyline. But also, I think it was good because Jamie got a friend in Q's brother. Yep.
Yeah.
Because obviously, now that Q's gone, it's like, but now there's someone to live on his legacy, which is his little brother. I wish though, we wouldn't have only gotten like this episode, like, I don't know. And I know there's like one other episode that his brother's in, and then it was it. Like, they're not friends in season 7, 8, or 9. Like, it's never talked about, like, did they move? Like, because obviously then Jamie would have a hard time with that because, like, he just lost Q. Now he would lose the little brother if they moved away. Like, it's never talked about. Like, you would think that these two would become, like, best friends. And I'm like, I just feel like it was definitely a sad move, like, not to put them as friends in the later seasons. Because I think it would have been adorable of, like, Q's little brother, hanging with his little friend Jamie. Like, I don't know, that would have been cute, especially because they have things in common.
Right.
Like, they become friends, but then that's it. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, because they never really talk about Q again either after this season.
Nope.
Even though, like, Haley's still teaching, we just don't see her very much. I mean, we do, but with Sam, but like, he's still not brought up. And yeah, so he should have been mentioned. Like, and then later on, when Nathan does, goes back to his career as a basketball player, he should mention like Q helped me get here, but he doesn't. So, yeah.
Well, that's because he plays for a couple episodes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember. Yeah, I just remember the moment when he got in. But yeah. And then inside the house, Lucas looks at a picture of Q on the fireplace when his mom approaches them, and she introduced herself and thanks them for being there and for Lucas staying up for Q the way he did at the game. And it's a shame to have to meet like this.
And I did like how she told Skills, his mom told Skills, that Quentin always had so many nice things to say about you, because he needs to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he feels like he didn't say the right things to him when he passed. So I'm glad that his mom said that, because I'm like, well, at least that could make Skills feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not all the way, because of course you want to say things to somebody before they pass, but at least that should make him feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did like how she said that her son always loved basketball, but she really wanted to thank Haley because she almost had a heart attack when she saw him reading a book.
Right, yeah.
I like that part.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's really okay. So, like when they bring up her strength, right?
Her strength.
Yeah, her strength of how she's, you know, like where does she get it from? She's so inspiring. I'm like, that's my thing. Is like she is like when she says like, no, she's really not. I'm like, but she is, because her son was murdered, and here she is making these people who just came into his life feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Like, they should be making her feel better. But instead, she, who is a grieving mother of 17 years, is making these people feel better. I'm like, what?
Right.
Like, to me, that is inspiring, because not too many people could do that. I don't think I could do that. I'd be like, you barely know him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was his mother for 17 years. Like, you know, I would be that way. But like instead, she's like she sees her like little sad faces, so she's making them feel better. And I'm like, wow, I definitely could not do that.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe for her, like trying to make other people feel better kind of takes the pressure off of like the spotlight being on her. Because like, of course, everyone is going to be like, how's his mom? How's his mom? Because I mean, that's like this closest person to him. So, you know, and again, a mother should never bury her child. So I feel like maybe that might be her little thing too, of like, let me just make sure everyone else is good so they don't look at me. Because I wouldn't want the spotlight either of like everybody, is she okay? Is she okay? I'd be like, oh my God, leave me alone.
And outside, the boys are still talking, and Andre says he's going to be a musician when he grows up, and Jamie says he's going to play basketball. And Andre says he might do that too. And then just they basically talk about their favorite things.
Oh my God. But okay, so when Andre says that his grandpa can whistle really loud, oh my God, Jamie goes, my grandma Deb wears really tight pants.
Right.
Yep. What?
Yep.
I couldn't help but laugh. I'm like, what does that have to?
Well, he couldn't think of a talent that she has, so that was the best thing he could think of.
But doesn't she cook and stuff? Like, it's weird. I was like, the fact that he says my grandma Deb wears really tight pants.
Yeah, he only said that his mom makes good mac and cheese. Yeah.
But I was surprised that because they first say about what their moms make. And then it was weird because like Andre says about his grandpa, and I'm like, well, why wouldn't Jamie say something about Grandpa Dan?
Yeah.
Why does he say something about Grandma Deb?
Right.
And why is it her tight pants? I was like blown away by that. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And also the fact that he's 5 and knows that, like, not like she can't just wear pants. She has to wear. They have to be tight pants according to Jamie. Like who in his circle is saying Deb wears tight pants? Because that would be the only way he would know she wears tight pants instead of just she wears pants.
Yeah, probably Nathan. Probably complain how she dresses.
Yeah, because I'm like, there's no way that he would just come up with that on his own. Someone had to have said it to him.
Yeah. And then Andre asks Jamie what the color of the tape is, and Jamie answers red. And then that's when Haley says it's time for them to go. So, they say bye. And after looking back at Dre, Jamie decides to give him Q's jersey. And Haley tells him he's a good boy. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that, it was good that he thought of that on his own, but yeah, Dre should have got the jersey in the first place.
Yeah. That's why Nathan should have said, he has a brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Q would want his little brother to have it.
Mm-hmm. And then they're back at home and everybody's at Haley and Nathan's house, like having their own little wake and away for Q, it seems. And Haley's in the room looking at the cape, trying to, finish it up because Jamie wants to get it done. But she's thinking about Jamie not going to the funeral because it'll be so sad.
And then Nathan says that's what death is. And I'm like, no, it is true.
Mm-hmm. And Haley says, like, yeah, but he's 5 and still sees a better world than they do. And then that's when Nathan says about his anecdote about his grandfather's funeral, or his great-grandfather. And, about Dan forcing him to kiss his grandfather.
Of course he would.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so he understands why she doesn't want Jamie to go. And then Deb and Skills find a room to be alone, and she tells him that she wanted to see him as soon as she found out.
Okay, this is again weird because you're in Nathan's house,
mm-hmm.
and you're like everyone is there now. It's not even like it's just them. It's everyone's in the house, so anyone could catch him. Or anyone could catch them. So it's really weird, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm wondering if they left like the living room or wherever they were, like at the same time, or like waited 5 minutes, because that would be less suspicious. But
yep.
Yeah. And then she just wants to check up on Skills, and he's having a hard time because if it's a bad dream, he just wants to wake up. He wants Q to wake up. And Deb asks if they found the person responsible, and Skills says no. And then they should probably go back downstairs. He doesn't want to make the day worse for her and Nathan or anybody else, with them finding out that they're together. And she says she's there for him, and he says he's here. Q's gone, and he's or she's here, and Q's gone, and he's someplace else. And then Brooke is at home, where she apparently labeled every mark in her face with words in the bathroom mirror and red lipstick.
That was sad.
Yeah. And he kind of shows like that she was trying to look for revenge now, besides for the gun. And then back at the Scotts, Payne said it's hard to accept things like this can happen, and not just to Quentin, but to anybody ever. And then this should have been suspicious too. But
when Brooke talks about how many people get raped and assaulted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the numbers. Yeah.
And everybody kind of like looks at her. That's like,
mm-hmm. Like, yeah, how does a person have all that memorized if not for a certain reason? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like she was close to Q where she'd want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wouldn't be like, okay, I need to know because to try to make this make sense. No, she just comes up with this because obviously it happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, nothing clocks for them.
Yeah. And she even says that life sucks and then you die. And then that's when Jamie walks in. So bad timing. So she tells him he's sorry, or she's sorry. She knows it's a tragedy, and then excuses herself outside. And then Nathan watches her walk out too, but Haley's the one that joins her. And Brooke says she's sorry. She should go talk to Jamie, but Haley says that Jamie will be fine. She can talk to her though. And Brooke says she's just been going through a lot, and saying goodbye to Angie and Victoria trying to company. And then she fell down the stairs. And now this. So that's when Haley brings up about the therapist that her Nathan saw, so maybe she can see her too. And she says she apologizes for everything that's been going on. Must have been some fall down the stairs. And she asks if it hurts, and Brooke says it all hurts. And then back at the house, Dan's able to get out of his hand, restraints.
Oh, when Haley says, like it must have been some fall down the stairs, do you think that was her way of saying, I don't believe you?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because, like, why would you say must have been a hard fall? Like, who says that? It'd be like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dan gets out of the restraints and then gets himself out of the other ones, and then he's able to walk outside.
I don't understand this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because like she's not stupid. So like why is it so loose that his hand can get out of?
Right. Yeah, I think that's what happened earlier when I said like it looked like he was trying to grab something, or he was holding something, but I think that was the moment when he realized that it was loose enough for him to slip out. That was the scene there. So
Because you would think, because she is smart, that like you're going to make it where even like he loses circulation in his arm. Like you would have it so tight that he can't get out of. And the fact that she just has it so loose, I'm like, either one of two things. Either she's stupid, or this the second one is it was a test
mm-hmm.
to see if he'll escape.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised she doesn't have like a lock on the door either, so he can't get out too.
Yeah, well, yeah, like an alarm, like to like
Mm-hmm.
notify her he's out. Maybe it's a silent alarm. I don't know.
Right. Or like
But
a
yeah,
lock with a key.
yeah, I was just like, okay, again, nobody who is kidnapping someone is going to be like, oh, well, let's make sure these are loose for you to escape.
Mm-hmm.
Again, unless they're testing you to see if you're going to escape.
Mm-hmm.
And then they
Yeah.
can say, I don't trust you, because I've seen those movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then he's able to walk outside where there's a brand new looking swing set that Carrie must have gotten for Jamie. And then he keeps walking until he trips and falls to the ground, and he looks up to see a burial place.
Okay, when he's like tripping and balling, and I'm like, ooh, like just every like move he's making in his face because he's in pain, and I'm just like, oh my god, it was hard for me to watch. And
Mm-hmm.
and I know Dan has done some evil things, but I'm like, ooh,
Right.
like seeing him go this far, it's like okay. And the fact that he's already okay. The other thing is he's already tried to escape once. You would think she would really keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
And you would think that she would have restraints like on every part of his body, basically. Like just the fact that she like if he's escaped once, why of course he's gonna try it again. Duh. It's just stupid on her part.
Right.
But yeah, then yeah, so apparently that was her son
Mm-hmm.
that died.
Yeah.
Does it ever or is that ever explained of how he died?
I don't think so, but again, I was like kind of foreshadowing without realizing it was my subconscious anyways. Yeah, so I forgot that this was actually her story. Like I said, it would have made sense if she lost a son, and she actually did, so I was kind of remembering without remembering fully. And yeah, so we don't know if it was like a baby or if it was look at a small child like Jamie. Maybe that would make more sense too. But then again, if it was like a 4 or 5 year old, he wouldn't be buried in her backyard. So it had it been a baby, I'm guessing, like an infant or a newborn even. So
Yeah, and I just want to know how the baby died.
yeah, and then she had a shovel already, and she yells at Dan to get away from her son, and then she knocks him out
And whacks him. Okay, I'm sorry, but like how hard she whacked him in the head? Because I'm guessing it was his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, that could kill him.
And
like,
then her plans ruined.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, how hard she was doing it, and the fact that he's already injured, I would think could kill him.
Yeah, or at least brain damage. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Go and kill him before your plan even starts.
Right. And then at the school, there's a huge memorial site outside for Q. Haley and Nathan are standing in front of it. And Haley says she doesn't know what to say to her students, because she's only 22 years old herself. But she's supposed to make sense of all this to her students, but she can't.
This was weird.
Why?
Because she's already went into the classroom once.
Oh, yeah. I know that.
And now she's telling Nathan, I don't know what to say to my class. You already said you don't know what to say to your class, and you already had a day with your class. So to me, this made no sense.
Well, what if she has like a couple different classes? Like, just another, like, we don't even know what grade she teaches either. But,
it was the same class. With the same
I was wondering, maybe that's what she meant.
Yeah, but this was a different day. Like, she would have had all those kids in the same day. Also, my thing is too, I feel like if this happened in real life, I feel like there would be a meeting with the staff before the day starts where, just in case you don't know this happened, this is what you say to your students. I don't think that the school would be like, it's a free-for-all. You as a teacher should just be able to say whatever you want to say. They would have things that you should, how to say things to your students. And then if they have any more questions, they would have somebody on site to help the kids. They would not just let the teacher not know what to say to the kids. I'm sorry, but they would have a meeting before school starts to deal with this. They would not just let the teachers have a free-for-all. I'm sorry, but like the administration would not do that.
Yeah, because they had enough time to even do that. So
because he died at night. So the next morning they would have said, it's an immediate meeting, like everyone needs to be here. Yeah. And that's why and you know that they would have given the teachers a script of like what to say to the kids. And again, if the teachers then don't know because the kids are asking all these questions, because even when they had the school shooting, Turner announced that they had people on site in case you need to talk to somebody. It wasn't like they would still have that with Q. So that makes no sense that they wouldn't have all of that. I'm sorry, but they would.
Yeah, because they had that when we had a teacher pass away when we were kids too. So
yeah, and I'm sure even the staff knew what to say.
Yeah, because I think it was like last minute too, because I think she died like that morning before school or something like that. And then Nathan still has the copy of Q's I just said it too, Les Miserables, handing it to her and tells her that she reached Quentin so she can reach her other students as well. And then Haley sets Q's book on her desk and sees Sam sitting in Q's desk.
Yeah, and she has what her name was. She told her, Samantha and stuff. And then she said, I knew. And she's like, she goes, sit in the desk in the back. And she's like, what's wrong with the one I'm in? And she goes, the desk is taken, which, okay, like, I know, like, Sam is like, well, no one's in it. Like,
yeah.
But you have to think, too, like, if they have assigned seats, then maybe the kid is just absent for the day. So it does make sense of why she'd be like, no, of course the desk is taken, even though you don't see anybody in it. It could be assigned seats, which it looks like it's assigned seats. Also, I do find it a little strange that Haley would not be in the classroom. Like, I have a question. Why is it every time Haley walks into the classroom, the kids are already in the classroom?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is going on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but why is the kids always in the classroom waiting for her?
Yeah, it's like she has her classroom open and then steps out for a good 5 minutes until the bell rings and then goes back in or something like that.
Because again, if Haley was in the classroom when all the kids came in, which is how it's supposed to be, Sam would have come in and said, where do I sit? And then she would have told her the back. Like, you wouldn't just out. And plus, you know how bad that is to, like, as the teacher, to, like, out this new student. Like, this new student. And she's just, you don't sit there. You sit over there. And it's like, well, maybe, Haley, if you would have been there, I don't know, before the class got there, you could have told the new student where to sit. But instead, you didn't. Like, that's on you, Haley.
Yeah, they just did that so they could show Haley being mad that someone was trying to kind of replace Q in a way by taking a suit,
Yeah, I just didn't like it because I'm like, again, just some missed things going on. The fact that she doesn't know what to say to the kids, even though she would know because they'd have a meeting about it. And also, she should be in class before the kids get there. So that also makes no sense.
And then Lucas tells the Ravens, the whole speech about how Q was a great person and he wished he'd take their pain away. And Skill says it's okay to feel angry, to feel the pain, even hate the person that did this. So I think he was speaking for himself there. But when the anger and pain and hate becomes too much for them, they can talk to any of the guys. They are his family and they're going to get through this together.
So when Lucas shows up, I was actually surprised that he was allowed to show up. Because I know, like, a lot of time, like, sometimes, like, when a coach is suspended, they're also not allowed to go to practices. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it is just for the game, but a lot of times it is practice too. Like, you can't, you're suspended for this many weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was surprised that Lucas was allowed to show up to school, because it seemed like Skills was kind of taking over the team, so he could very easily make a speech about Q on his own with Nathan's help. And the fact that Lucas was there, I'm like, okay.
I think he was just accepting for the stay. Yeah. Even though I'm sure he comes back the next day anyways, because they don't like to keep things in order, like make it continuous. Yeah, and then Nathan even mentions that they know that Q was working out with him, helping him with his game. That's how he's gonna remember him, strong, happy, playing the game he loved. And he wants them to all think of their best memories of Q. And that's what he'll live on. And then Brooke goes to see Peyton. And basically, Brooke, as an apology, gives Brooke something. I think it's a necklace. They didn't really show it that well, but to say she's sorry. She was just, feeling the anger from Victoria and she didn't deserve it. And Payne asks if that's why she threw out all her clothes on the street. And Brooke says kind of. And Victoria wants, the line that bad, she can have it. Life's too short. And then Payne says she has something for her too. So apparently she got the rest of the clothes back from earlier and had to fight 2 strong women and a kid in a wheelchair for the couture stuff, but most of it's there. Yeah, so I thought that was something. Payne was willing to get the clothes back even from a little kid. Yeah, because she says that life's too short to fight, to be miserable, to let the bitter ones change how awesome she is.
And that was my thing, is like, your best friend just told you they were fighting for your clothes to get them back, and you're just, they can have them. And it's like, what?
So in her classroom, Haley says that they asked her earlier, what's the point, and the point was to school, literature, and life. And she said there's no point at all, but that's not true. What she should have said was she didn't know, because the truth is not long ago she sat there and wondered exactly the same things they did. When something's tragic and evil and unexplainable happens, like losing someone forever, she still wonders, just like they do. And then that's when she gives the essay assignment, just to talk about Q. And if they didn't know him, then write what they think the point of all this is for themselves and their life and their time here. And so that's what writers do. They put pen to paper in times of devastating tragedy and try to make sense of it. Maybe they'll find peace in their words. And then Haley sees that someone wrote on Q's desk, quote unquote, "We miss you, Q," with black marker. She asks who wrote it, and it's the same guy who spoke up before. And she tells him to give him his marker.
He actually wrote on the desk?
Yeah, nobody saw it.
Because I only saw Haley write on the desk.
Yeah, with the the "We missed you" Q was already there when she walked over, and then he gave her the marker, so obviously he did it when she wasn't looking, apparently. And then that's when she adds to it and then has them all come in right on the desk.
Because I didn't see the "We miss you."
Yeah.
Okay, that was my thing, was like when she takes the marker and writes on it, I was like, oh, coming from somebody that worked in a school, that is a heck
vandalism.
Of a no-no. Yes.
Yeah, vandalism on school property, yeah.
Because we've had that of students actually writing on their own desk. And of course they get in trouble, but it's like for a staff member to write on the desk, no, you just don't do that at all. So when she did that, I was like, no, Haley, that you're going to get fired for that.
Yeah, we don't see her, face the consequence of that. I'm guessing she had to, pay the money out of her own pocket to get a new one if they couldn't clean this one. Because I'm guessing she would probably want to keep this desk for herself or something, like, as a reminder for class in Q.
But I just didn't like it. I was like, no. Because, and again, we're now teaching students, let's write on desks.
Yeah.
You're not ever gonna get in trouble if you write on a desk.
Mm-hmm. And then I liked the part when everybody was writing on the desk. She walks over to Sam and she tells her nice shirt, knowing it's, the one that she took from Brooke's store, and says,
Yeah, she goes clothes over
right?
bros. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's funny.
Yeah.
And the fact that Haley knows exactly what, like, where it came from. Like, she already knows Brooke's clothing line and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just shows that she, was paying attention to Brooke's designs,
Mm-hmm.
or at least was in the store, enough times to kind of memorize what she had. And then at the house, Jamie sees Haley getting ready and asks why she's getting dressed up again because, no one explained to him that there's a wake and then the funeral, of course. And she says, her and Daddy are going to go to Quentin's funeral, and he's going to go to the sitters. And, he asks what happens at a funeral, and she tells him they're going to say goodbye to Q. And then he, walks off sadly because, he doesn't understand why they're leaving him behind. And then Lucas is getting ready also, and, Peyton is talking to him about, she knows that Jamie loves Q. So it's got to be hard for Nathan and Haley to explain to him.
I liked when Peyton was like, great, when they, like once they get done explaining it to him, maybe they can explain it to her. It was fun. It was funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm kind of surprised she didn't talk to Jamie since she lost her mom when she was just a few years older than he was,
Mm-hmm. Like,
But,
if anyone they had a lot of deaths in
Mhm.
their life, it would be Peyton.
Yeah, because I feel like at this point, like Payne and Jamie don't really have a lot of interacting with each other, like one-on-one. It's just like in a whole group setting now.
They never really did. When did they ever have one-on-one?
No, as I'm saying, it's usually. I mean, it was usually the closest they got was like her, Payne, and Brooke together, and that was it. Like with the race car, his little jacket and everything like that was the closest they kind of got.
Yeah, like when they started the season, it was like, cool, Jamie's gonna have all these adults to hang out with, but he really doesn't.
Right.
And
yeah, it's like everybody but Peyton.
Well, and then you would think too that especially once Peyton got with Lucas, it'd be like, oh, cool, now we're gonna see Peyton and and Jamie because obviously she was going to be the aunt. But no, not at all. Like he's still closest to Brooke.
Yeah, and Skills.
And Skills and Lucas, but not Peyton at all. I'm like, what? Like there's no turnaround in this. Do you think that if they would have extended, like if they would have come back in season 7, do you think they would have put Peyton with Jamie? And obviously, because they have a baby, it's just weird. Like you say you're friends with Nathan and Haley, and you're dating the little kid's uncle, and you're not spending any time with the little kid.
Yeah,
it's just odd. It's odd.
Yeah, it seems like we didn't really see Lindsay with Jamie, but she was like talking about him when she was with Lucas, and then she showed up for his birthday party, so it seemed like she kind of cared about Jamie more than Peyton does, it seems, kind of in a way.
Yeah, well, and I think because she was very close, like she was best friends with Haley,
that
Haley was always around Jamie, that I think she obviously probably spent time with him too, where Peyton just doesn't. Like,
yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, because she, sees Haley all the time with her being with, on her label, but yeah, it still doesn't see Jamie. Like Haley should be, Haley should have been bringing Jamie around the label just to, he can play there because they have that pool table and he can, learn the stuff about music and stuff like that. Have him have fun like that, but they never did for some reason.
No, because he's always on the basketball court with the kid or with the guys.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, the fact that Peyton isn't even around, like, okay, there is that one episode where Peyton and Lucas babysit Jamie and Andre, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only time Peyton gets to be around Jamie, and I just feel like that's, I don't know, especially given how Peyton loves kids, right? Like, oh, just took a liking to Jake's baby. And yet, remember, because that's what she's been missing as a family. Well, here's this family. Here is Lucas's nephew that he loves so much. It's his godson. And you're not even spending time with him.
Right.
She's not offering to watch him like Brooke does. She doesn't have any interest in him at all. I just find that a little bit weird.
Yeah. And then Lucas said that he wouldn't be surprised if the team forfeits for the rest of the season. Wouldn't that really be bad for the Ravens? Like, could
Yeah.
they even do that just, because they lost a member?
Well, I mean, they were forfeiting how many games because of Keith,
Mm-hmm.
and he wasn't even on the team.
Yeah.
They were only forfeiting because Lucas couldn't be on the play the game. Well, that doesn't mean the rest of the team can't play.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I feel like they should play for Q.
Mm-hmm.
Like Q would not want them to forfeit, especially if they were starting to win games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they would Q would want that at all. He would want them to, live on his legacy and play.
Right.
Do you think that they should because I don't really know if it's ever really talked about of Q of them retiring his jersey number.
Yeah, they do that later.
Okay, they do? Okay, because I don't
Mhm.
remember that part.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, they didn't forget about him that quick, but yeah, after this season, he just never brought up again, which I don't like because they were all affected by this. That should have been lasting throughout the whole series, but yeah. Yeah, because the actor would have stayed, but they didn't have that, a good enough deal for him to be on the show as a main character. So that's why they came up with this plot line.
But why does he have to be a main character?
Because he, wanted to be part of the show like that, and he was a lovable character that was doing well, turning his life around. So people want to see him continuously grow, and then Nathan grow with him because they're working together on their game.
No, I get why he should still be on the show, but I'm saying a main character because I mean, it took how long for Skills and Mouth to become main characters, and they were in a lot.
Yeah, Antoine had to fight for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just weird that it's oh, well, in order to be a main character, but he doesn't have to be a main character. He could just be. I mean, is Sam considered a main character?
No, because she leaves anyways. But yeah, but I think he was gonna stay on for the rest of the series, or at least until he graduated high school. And I don't know, maybe still learn from Nathan, just stay close with Nathan probably. And probably help him get back to the NBA too, keep working with him. Yeah, try to at least go together, basically.
I mean, I could see him staying till he graduated, but after that he'd go to probably out of state college to play. So then he wouldn't have any interaction with them except for maybe phone calls and stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
And visits at holidays.
Yeah, unless he didn't want to leave his little brother,
Yeah, but if that's what he was working for, was the NBA, he would have to go wherever they wanted him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Lucas is just appreciative of Peyton being there for him, especially now when feels sorry they haven't talked about the wedding recently with everything going on. So she says, that's what marriage is, the good times and bad. She just wishes she could help him somehow. And Lucas tells her that she is helping without even saying a word. And then Brooke's getting ready for the funeral at home when the doorbell rings, and she cautiously walks towards the door.
Finally, we're noticing that she's changing.
Yeah. So Nathan says it's him, so she opens the door and invites him in. And, she mentions it's a tough day and everything, and she wishes there was something she could do for him, Haley or Jamie. But Nathan says he was wondering if there's anything they could do for her. And, he says that he knows that her mom has been pulling some stuff at the company. And having dealt with parent insanity, you want to check on her and see how she's doing. And she says she's fine, but Nathan says that sounds like something he would say. And he said, losing Q is hard, and he has a feeling it's going to be a prominent thing in their lives for a while. Even like I said, after the season, he's never really spoken up again. But it doesn't mean her problems are any less important to them. And Brooke says she's fine again, but Nathan beats her to it, adding she can handle it. It's all good, right? So he says that he hopes that's true, but maybe the thing is the two of them have been through similar roads, and they're the same cliques first, and they both felt the same pressure, same expectations. And their parents were like their children, and they grew into the kind of bad versions of themselves way too fast. So he, gets it.
So I like when they hugged because you didn't see too many of Nathan and Brooke scenes. It seemed like she was friends with Haley And then obviously when you're friends with somebody, their spouse is, tags along or whatever. But it wasn't like she was like, never really seemed like she was friends with Nathan per se.
Since high school.
No, like even in high school, like it wasn't like Nathan and Brooke or have like a friendship like Lucas and any of the girls. It wasn't like that. It just seemed like she became friends with Haley, who was with Nathan, and then that's how she was around Nathan. It was because Nathan did not like her before he was with Haley. Remember, he was like, she's just around. She's in the same clique, so she's just around. But she really then became friends with Haley, so then Nathan was around, especially when she was dating Lucas, because then they double dated and stuff. So, it never really seemed like Nathan and Brooke were really, truly friends. They were just sort of around each other.
Yeah, they should have been, like Nathan said, because they both kind of lived the same lives as teenagers with their parents.
Yeah, but they never really put it as that, though.
Yeah, so James was the one that actually, mentioned that they should have this scene between Brooke and Nathan, because he directed this episode too, I believe. This is when he started getting to directing on the show. And I think it was a good call too, because usually when the show has a lot of characters, there's always some that don't interact with each other that they should, especially if they have friends like that. Yeah.
Well, that's why it always seemed like they really weren't, because they never had scenes together. And if they did, it was always in like a group setting or again, double dating with somebody. It wasn't like just the two of them. Like, yeah, we had the rain scene, but even that was awkward, like, because they never had all the scenes together. Like he had more scenes with Peyton as friends than he did with Brooke. So that's all. But I did like it, because if anyone can understand her, it would be Nathan.
Yeah, so he goes on to tell Brooke, like, even though he almost got his dream, but it was taken away because
this is weird. I'm like, again, Nathan, we're gonna go into another year of you saying, "Oh, it got taken from me." No. Let's say this again. You took it away from yourself by fighting. Like, stop it. Stop blaming others. Like, yes, I get, yes, because somebody, you got into a fight, and then obviously the injury obviously took you out of the game. Well, guess what? If you didn't fight with that person, like, I'm so tired of him saying, like, it got taken from him. It got taken. Oh my God. Like, you would have been in the NBA the next night if you didn't fight. But you chose that. So you chose the consequences. The problem is Nathan, again, has never had to deal with consequences. So until now. So it's really annoying. So I'm just so tired of him saying it got taken from me. Because again, he says it again. Like Brooke, her mom is trying to take her company from her. That's real. You took it from yourself. You took that away from yourself. Nobody took it away from you.
Right.
Where Brooke, it's actually happening to her. Those are two different things, I would say.
Right. Yeah, but either way, he says that he dealt with it alone. It was stupid, selfish, and wrong. So if her mom tries to take her dream away from her, and feels the same pain he does, he's been there. So he wants her to come talk to him about it.
But to say that you dealt with it alone, well, whose fault was that? You dealt with it alone because you wanted the pity. You chose.
He's taking accountability here for it. Yeah, because he said it's selfish.
Yeah, but he's really not. Like, I was just annoyed. I'm like, oh my God. Like, he should have said, like, he had people around, but he, was selfish.
And then he thanks her for gonna go, to the funeral. Means a lot to him, even though she didn't know Quentin. But it doesn't surprise him that she's thinking about other people when she has her stuff going on. And that's not bad for a girl who never had a chance.
Which is true for Brooke. She does care about others.
And then Skills is having a moment in the gym. And then Haley and Nathan are about to leave, and they see Jamie has gotten ready in his suit and tie with the box Q gave him.
Yep,
He
because
wants to go too.
Yep, he is going because Q was his friend and he wants to say bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then Haley's trying to tell him, like, it's going to be sad, but he wants to go anyway, which,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like to a point it should be up to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he said he's already sad, so.
I mean, that's a tough call. I mean, it's not like, I will say, though, like, it's different if you're going to, like, an open casket.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously then you want to shield your child.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not, like, if the person is not going to be shown,
Mm-hmm.
I guess he could go, because it's not
Mm-hmm.
like, it's not like it's going to be too much trauma to see nothing,
Mm-hmm.
or see somebody in the casket and they're gone. Like, how do you say they're gone but their body's still here, kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Especially as a 5-year-old, like, how do you explain that? But if they're not showing it, then he probably could go.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan tried to explain it earlier how he said that his body stopped working, and that he's gone. But yeah, we don't know. We can suspect that he was shot in the head too. So it depends on how he looked after they prepared him for the funeral. If it looks, not that horrible. It really depends. If I were Haley, I would like have Jamie like stay behind, and then I would see first myself, and then decide if Jamie should walk up there or not. But I feel like he would fight either way to see him. But yeah, so she says that Jamie's right, he should go, and fixes his tie. And then we see Q's but we skip that. We go to the burial part in the cemetery.
That's what I mean, is we
Yeah.
skipped the whole if
Mhm.
whatever happened at the funeral, because we don't know if it was open or not, because
Right.
we go right to here.
Mhm. Is this the same day as the wake supposed to be?
Well, it's the same day as the funeral.
Okay, I can't. I'm losing track. But yeah, because the wake is usually where you see the person anyways. But they were at Quentin's house, so yeah, I wonder why they did that. But unless it was like after the fact, probably most likely. And now they came back for the funeral. I think that's how it went. Yeah. But yeah, so Q is carried. His casket's carried by everyone. Well, everyone walks to the grave, and everyone's standing there for the ceremony, and Deb, looks over at Skills, and Q's family walks up, and Jamie waves to Andre, and Andre waves back. So yeah, it would have been nice if they saw them be friends after this. And then we go back to Carrie, because she's brought Dan back in the house and straps him back to the bed. And then he's like trying to like sympathize with her, and he says that he's sorry for her loss, and she just keeps yelling at him to shut up. And he tries to ask more about her son, and says that she knows that Jamie can't replace her son. Somewhere deep down inside, she knows that. And
Which
then
I did like that part, because it is
Mhm.
true. Like, you
Yeah.
can't take him. He's like, even if you do take him, like, it's not your son.
hmm Yeah, and then back at the funeral, Jeff looks at Skills and decides to stand with him.
Oh
And
my God, this was the
Mhm.
moment. I was like, oh my God. Like, I know we're supposed to be sad, but I was like, oh my God, like, what, Deb? Like,
Right.
at the funeral, you're going to
Mhm.
do this?
Yeah,
And now Nathan is just like, what in the?
yeah, because Nathan can't react the way he wants to either, because he has to pay respects for Q and be silent.
So, do you think this was a good move on her? Like, let's not make a scene. Let's not make a scene.
Yeah, it's like bad and good timing at the same time. Yeah.
But all he's gonna do is lash out when they get home.
hmm Yeah, at least Skills could have his comfort at least. Yeah. And then the Ravens arrive, and the first team member in line gives Quentin's mom, a bouquet of flowers, and they all hug her. And then
I did like that. I just thought it was a
Mhm.
little weird that they weren't at the funeral to start with.
Right, I thought they would be the ones carrying the casket too, but I guess not.
Like if Lucas, remember, he was all acting like they're all friends. Well, if they're all friends,
He said they were family even.
Okay, well then why aren't they there?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's odd. You're gonna say that in this episode, and then
Mhm.
they're not gonna show up until the end to prove that they're there for him when they should have already been there. That's odd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
thought that was just weird timing.
Mhm. Yeah, so Sam narrates her essay again, and Andre ends up putting Q's jersey on over his suit and even stands with the Ravens, which was cute and sad at the same time. And then we see Carrie put flowers at her son's grave. Everybody leaves at this funeral, but Jamie stays behind. And Brooke tells Haley that she'll stay with him. And Haley is reading Sam's paper, and Jamie takes Q's cape out of the box that he gave him, and throws it on top of the casket. And then that's when Brooke starts crying because she finally broke, and Jamie holds her hand and everything.
That was so sweet. Brooke and Jamie holding hands at the end. Oh my God.
Yeah, and Brooke finally had something to help her release the emotions because before it's just bottled up with anger, and she never let that sadness out. So, and then Sam ends the narration with, people say Quentin was a great basketball player, graceful, fluid, inspiring. They say on a good night, it almost seemed like Espo he could fly, and now he can. And yeah, that was a perfect ending too.
Mm-hmm. So I mean I think that the like Sam reading it should have been at the end, because at the very beginning we still don't know who Sam is. So why is she narrating?
Yeah, or the assignment, yeah. So
right. And like,
yeah,
because it's just weird that all of a sudden she's narrating, or she's doing this intro, and it's like, what? Like, it's one thing if Lucas would have been, because he loves to do the intros. So it would have been nice for Lucas to have done it. Of like, Lucas is always the person that can write his feelings down, but not tell the person how they feel. So he'd be the perfect one to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird how it wasn't like Lucas saying good things about Q and then ending with Sam.
Mm-hmm.
It was just weird how it's Sam through the whole thing. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how she did it at the end, because it's obviously her assignment and she was learning something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was weird at the beginning, I think.
Yeah.
So for me, the high was seeing Jamie and Andre, even though it's not going to last.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how inspiring Q's mom was.
Mm-hmm.
And I also love the end when Brooke and Jamie were holding hands.
Yeah.
Because they have each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, too bad we didn't see Q's dad, though, because he kept saying his parents, too, so he had both of them, but you only see his mom for some reason.
They didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
I also liked for Brooke, because Brooke doesn't want to impose or anything on her friends.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that's why she hasn't told them the truth,
Mm-hmm.
because she knows that they'd be there and not let her out of their sight.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was happy that she had Jamie, because I mean, when you're having a hard day, what lightens up your day?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're the closest like little kids to you. And so I was happy that she had Jamie, because they do have a special bond.
Right.
And then the low, to see the funeral, like I don't like, it happened too fast for Q.
Mm-hmm.
And also Nanny Carrie, even though we just calling her Carrie now?
Yeah, because she's not technically a nanny anymore to Sammy.
Yeah, but she'll always be Nanny Carrie in my head.
Mm.
And I feel like in a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, I feel like people call her crazy Nanny Carrie or Nanny, something like that. Yeah.
Yep,
or
psycho, crazy, yeah. So yeah, I just the whole story. Like, when's it gonna be over for the storyline of Carrie and Dan? Oh my God. I mean, is she planning on torturing him the next 6 months and then he dies? Like, I don't understand this. Why is she if she already has her plan, why isn't she orchestrating it? I have no idea why she's not doing it. Like, what is she waiting for? For him to truly die? Because it's gonna get to that point if she doesn't deal with her plan now. I don't understand this at all.
Yeah. Because she knows, the schedule for Jamie and Haley and Nathan and what they do in their lives. It's a little different right now, but she could still, guess a good time when she could take him. Yeah.
Well, and right now she doesn't know that Q died. She doesn't know that there is a Q. So, so she wouldn't know that that their plan or their day to day is a little different right now. But also I just don't get it. Like she has a plan. Like most people, they're figuring out a plan. That's why they haven't done anything. Well, she's already figured out the plan. So why isn't she doing something? I don't get this.
Right.
To me, it's just dumb. Like, why are we, for like the storytelling, why are we continuing this? I feel like this was too much of Carrie torturing Dan. Like, get it over with.
Yeah, because Psycho Derek had a plan, but he did everything within a night. So
exactly, his was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, he started it. Yeah.
I mean, he was only in what I feel like 6 episodes. It was like done and over with. Like, I know the stalking was like way before, but it was like it was done and over with. Here, nothing is really happening, but in these scenes between Carrie and Dan, it's not like, at least with Psycho Derek, at least there was things happening within the storyline, but there's nothing. It's
Yeah, it's just torture him. He gets out, puts him back, tortures him, gets out. Yeah, put him back. Yeah, so just back and forth.
And all he does is say, "Oh, your plan sucks. Your plan sucks." Like every episode, like, "Oh my god!" Like we get it. Her plan sucks. Let's move forward or not. Like whatever we're doing needs to happen next episode because this is annoying.
Yeah. So Milo was the funeral too, because out of the deaths in this show, this was the only one that made me cry, and still makes me cry every time I rewatch this show.
Wait, and then Keith's didn't make you cry?
No.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, because Q was a lot younger, and it was so sudden out of nowhere, and they finally started having more diverse characters in this show, and then he was just kind of written off because the actor wasn't going to get paid as he should if he was going to go higher up in the show as a main character, like he could have been. So yeah, it's just a loss for the show because he really did add to it, and it was nice to see Haley and Nathan be like his mentors. They kind of become his second parents in a way, even though he had good parents at home. We just missed them till now. Yeah, and they were the ones that helped him along with Lucas and Skills, like bring his game back, being, because before he was like only like the one player on the team. Like it's like he thought of himself as the only player on the team, so like he would just try to be selfish and do what he wants with the ball and not be a team player and not try hard in school in his classes. So yeah, so Haley and Nathan were just like the biggest influences of them all for him, because he was doing bad until he met them.
Is it weird that in season 7 they take a drastic turn and like Skills is not coaching the Ravens? Because you would think if Lucas leaves, Nathan's in the NBA, Skills would be the head coach. It's just, I feel like it's a little weird how he's not coaching and they've just taken a different turn, and like we never see the Ravens really play.
Yeah, I guess because they only wanted to keep that plot line if Lucas and or Nathan were part of it. That's the only way that they saw it worth doing and dealing with. Yeah,
because I just feel like it's weird because then when they go to coach, they're coaching like Jamie's baseball games, and it's not like they're like basketball has changed. We're no longer focusing on basketball as we have the last 6 seasons. We're now moving to something else.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you think maybe that's why that was the other reason why they got rid of Q, of like basketball held this group together, and if we're no longer going to really go further in basketball the next season, and we're going to be exploring other storylines and other sports, would there be a place for Q? Because even Nathan's pro basketball career ends in season 7 or whatever. It's not like it goes on and we see him in this element. We don't see it. So it's weird. So even that, like Nathan, the number one person that you would think right away, basketball, even that goes away. So would there be a place for Q for the rest of the series?
Well, I think for the next season, they would have had him like do another year of basketball, and then he graduates probably. And then after that, maybe yeah, he'd be going off to college, and maybe Lucas and Skills would keep in touch because they did that when they were in college. And well, not Lucas, Skills did. Yeah, so Skills should be the one that actually keeps in contact with Q. And I don't know, I can just see Quinn maybe I don't know, I feel like he would have just stayed for his brother, like to be close to his brother, maybe, I don't know. And then talks with Nathan about it and all that, like what should we do? I don't know. It's really hard to say.
Well, and also like if we're getting rid of Q, like keep his little brother, because his little brother can be on any sports team with Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Since they're clearly around the same age, like if he's going to be in Little League, if he's like whatever he's doing, they could do together. So you could, when Nathan is coaching Jamie's team, he could also coach Andre, which would be adorable because it's Q's little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Like just all of that. Like if we're getting rid of someone, keep the storyline of that person because we still want that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've just met his little brother, but they're adorable. So why not keep that? Because he's still always going to be Q's brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that should have also been in play.
Right.
Like if you're going to get rid of someone who was important, keep someone else that's important to them so that fans can grow to even love them even more.
Mm-hmm.
And then make us really want them in the end. Like if we start to see Q's little brother grow up, it'd be like, well, he should be there with it. Like just all of this talk, but it would have been better to have him on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Than just be like, oh, he's gone. Like Q's gone. Now his brother is gone. Like what? Because now we get little Chuck like soon. Oh,
right.
It's like I'd rather have Andre than have little Chuck.
Right.
I'm just saying. But I'm saying like from season 6, where it's all about basketball, to season 7, it definitely takes a turn. Even in season 6, though, it takes a turn because soon we're going to be talking about Lucas's movie. So we just drop basketball.
Right.
So even that, it's kind of like once Q is gone, we no longer really are interested in basketball anymore.
Yeah, even more so after Lucas, it seems, after he left, because the last few seasons of the show definitely feels like another show in itself. So.
So that's what's a little weird is even after this, because when Lucas was suspended, he was suspended for 10 games and there was 11 left. So there's at least some more weeks of basketball, and it doesn't really seem like they do much with it after he died, because they would still have basketball.
Right.
But they don't. So that's what's weird. And then what did you say your high was?
I don't know. I think I just said I don't know, you have to listen back, but it might have been seeing Jamie. I don't think it was. Did I even say one? I don't know.
I think you went right to what the worst was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, okay, yes, I didn't say one. So my high was Brooke finally breaking like her like that wall that she had up to let her emotions out, because it's been like that for days, or I don't know how long it's been, actually, maybe a week or so. It's been a while, because all she felt was anger, and that was one emotion to get out, but she needed that sadness to come out too. And it was sweet for Jamie to understand that she needed some comfort, and that's why he took her hand. And it was sweet too that Jamie put the cape over the casket, because he wanted to give Q his cape, and he actually did. So yeah, so I was happy that they both kind of did what they needed and wanted to do to have that closure and that release. So yeah. And then rating?
I would rate this an 8.5. Like
Yeah,
even though it was sad, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Actually say a 9, and it would have been higher if the Carrie and Dan plotline wasn't getting tiresome.
Well, exactly. Like like when Keith died, we had the whole episode about Keith, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now everyone's grieving. There was too much of Carrie and Dan, like, and they weren't even doing anything. So it's not like she was, killing them. Like it's like nothing was happening. Like they happened the same episode, like the same crap the last episode. So that's why it was an 8.5. Like I wish we could have just devoted this whole episode to Q and not to Dan and Carrie, because they weren't doing anything. Like they're going to do the same thing the next episode. So what do we need to see at this episode for?
Mm-hmm.
They could have just cut that out and then just had more of everyone else grieving,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been better, not them.
Right. So best and worst?
For me, I thought that the best was Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Like he seemed more of the grown up in the episode.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of telling his parents, like, no, I want to go to the funeral. Instead of them being like, no, you were just not going. Even though they said he couldn't go, they still left it up to him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was going no matter what. He got his little suit on, he was going.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he gave Q the cape in the end, and I just loved when he was there for Brooke in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think they both needed that.
Yeah.
I just loved him in this, and also the fact that he gave Q's brother his jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew, like no one had to tell him, I think that this should go to his brother. No, he felt it should go to his brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was nice too. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't selfish, keeping it for himself.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing what should happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the worst, Carrie, she just needs to go away.
Mm-hmm.
I can't with her.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yes, the worst was Carrie for me too, and the best was Haley, just because she was the first person to notice something, serious was going on with Brooke. And then she helped her class too after she, took some time to still think about it and how to help them. And she came up with the assignment to, get their thoughts and feelings out as well. Because everybody's like kind of processing so many different things, mostly with Q, but just in life in general, good stuff too. But yeah, and then, Sam ended up writing the best essay, at least that's what Haley thinks, and then she discovers that she can write as well, kind of know the Lucas in a way. So yeah, Haley just reaching her students was nice to see too.
Well, yeah, because we're not going to get too many more of Haley in the classroom.
Because she eventually goes back to music full time, basically, it seems. Yeah.
Well, that's because she gets fired.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So she kind of has to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
even though she could go to another district,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it still wouldn't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well, I guess, just focus on the next best thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, even though I still feel like she could have somehow tutored kids, like opened up her own like little business of like tutoring kids,
Mm-hmm.
because that was always her love. But that kind of goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess when you have Jamie, you're everything changes, like what's important.
Yeah.
So maybe she doesn't have time for all that.
Right.
And then what's the next episode?
Episode 4, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Yeah. So someone's in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. I'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.